All right. All right, all right, all right. How is everybody doing? Oh, what is it? Tuesday? Is it October yet? Did the football season already start? And then we got hockey already? I don't think so. So how's everybody doing on this fine? It's Tuesday, right? Yeah, it's still Tuesday. Boy, what a long week we got ahead of us here. Bucks Rays, how we doing, bud? Colin? Let me blow this up so I can actually see. Oh, it's going. It's all right. It got hot again. It's like 90 degrees already. David, what rumors do I have? You're bored. Is really nothing to do. I know. I know. So I'm working on a video. It'll probably be out this afternoon. Probably be out this afternoon. Tomorrow night we got the classic Dolphins stream. I think that's going to start at 8 o'clock. So we'll have some fun there. David, you heard Kamala's interviewing for the Leafs GM. Well, the Leafs would make you drink, so there's that. Hey, Kazuma, I saw this debate online. One of my opinion is Barkov already a top 10 center of all time and best Finnish player of all time. Ooh, well, that's a tough one. Top 10 is pretty heavy duty. I think you got to win another cup. I think you got to win another cup. I mean, top 10 is, I understand center, right? But there's got to be a list that makes that questionable. Have to look at that. Colin says Sam Muskevich is making a guest appearance on Law and Order. Is that real? That's cool. David says, right, 99, Mario Esposito, Stan Iserman, yeah. Hey, Jake, Minnesota sports fan. How you doing, bud? Trottier, Crosby, and Mess, all centers. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's right there. You'd have to list them out, right? Because, you forget. You know what I mean? It's not like football where the list of quarterbacks, you know who the quarterback is. It's like the list of centers. That's, there's 4 on every team. It's a lot of guys. They were playing the Panthers goal song at Bennett's wedding. Nice. But Charo, I did see that. Yeah. I did see that about Asante Samuel. No disagreement either. None whatsoever. Hey, Simon, how you doing, bud? I like wearing, well, for a long time I didn't wear the red one because we would lose every time I wore it. I like how the white one fits me a little bit better, though. Yeah, scientist, good to mention that. Panthers legend Zach Dalpe retired. Yes, he did. So good for him, right? Good for him. He hung around another couple of years there at Charlotte. Good for him. Hey, I did manage to get to the gym earlier today. I did not get fishing. I'm going to try to go fishing tomorrow. Vincent, no short stay. Here's to dignity. Yeah. Yeah. Just wait, Vincent. Just wait. When we three-peat, the entire week of noon streams after we three-peat will be topless. So there you go. And that when the Dolphins win the Super Bowl, that stream will be topless as well. I'll be an 85-year-old man at that point, though. I don't know if anybody want to, not that anybody want to see it now, but it might things might get rough. Things might get rough, So it's all right. It's that time of year, right? It's just absolutely that time of year. Not a whole hell of a lot going on. We'll probably move these to like 3 days a week in a little while but we'll add some other things in. David says it's 90 degrees. here with 90% humidity, you can have dignity. I'll take comfort. It's not so bad here. It's 90, but it's not real humid outside today. The gym air conditioning, the air conditioning at the YMCA has been busted. And like there's one portion of it that's got air conditioning, and the rest of it is just, It's a brand new building, too. Bucks Rays, how are the Marlins doing? Are they still doing well? Hey, JC, how you doing, bud? News anchor on top, shorts on the bottom. Yeah, right? Why not? Why not? This camera is wild, though, because it's like, I don't know how the lens is picking up where it is. Because, like, the camera's here. Now, it's a wide-angle lens, but I don't know how it's getting. I mean, this is below the desk over here. I mean, it is like, I don't know how I can't. It's a good camera, though. Colin says the Marlins keep on rolling, only 7 games under 500 and won 10 straight road games. Damn, I guess they got motivated by the Panthers, right? Unlike the Dolphins, who I don't think there's anything that can motivate them. Vincent says there's some weird people on the internet, someone might fancy that. Sure. I could just show up in just socks only and then sell the socks. We could do that. Have an auction, put the socks on eBay. Pitching's been better, Colin. Bucks Rays, yeah, man, those Texas floods, holy crap. That's just wild. I didn't see it when it first happened, but then obviously I heard about it. And, man, it's just wild how it can raise that high that fast. Like, what was it? Something like 20-something feet in just like a few hours or something. Like, I get it was raining, but I don't know, man. I know it's a natural event, but it's just like hard for me logically to think about, like, how did you get where did all the water come from? Like, just the rain? Yeah, we're counting down days for the preseason, Bucks Rays. Yeah. So we're doing a football stream tomorrow night. We're going to do Dolphins Classic game tomorrow night. And then Thursday night, we're going to do another men's channel stream. So Wednesday and Thursday night, I'll be live. Kazuma says the new camera is much improvement, though it doesn't look high def for some reason. I don't understand it either. It's got to be StreamYard, because the picture on my screen is really, really nice. Now I only pay to stream out in 1080, right? I have to pay like another $50 a month to stream out in 4K. So I'm gonna keep fussing with it, and we'll see how that goes. I wanted to see how this looked first. The recorded version is way better. So, but when I'm streaming it, it's lowering the. So I got to figure out how to get it to look the way I want. I might have to just cough up the money for the extra on StreamYard. JC, I wish we could have petition. I thought you said position. Can we petition to have Zito be the Dolphins GM as well? I don't know, though, because what if the problem is just the Dolphins franchise is cursed? Like, do we want the Dolphins stink on our guy there? Yeah, mainly affected the people living by the river, yeah. Oh, David, man, I don't know about that. Yeah, JC says, I also saw a funny story that Zito interviewed with 5 teams before us. They all passed and didn't even give him an offer. Yep. Wasn't Edmonton one of them? I believe Edmonton was one of those teams, right? The CBA has officially been ratified. Fantastic. So the river rose like 10 feet in 90 minutes at 3 a.m. That's just crazy. That's why I'm glad I'm at the top of the hill. Like the river is down there, but if we flood here, the entire earth has a problem. Fox says, how do I feel about any of the two-way guys we signed that could be a diamond in the rough? I haven't taken a whole lot of time to look at them, to be honest with you. It wouldn't surprise me if well, let's put it this way. If we end up having to move Rodriguez or Boquist, we might see those guys every once in a while. They do have a tendency to really want to keep Charlotte, stocked in good shape, which is obviously went to their finals and everything. And it may signal that at some point we may move on from another one of our young guys. Like we're not making space for any of our younger players, right? That's why we moved Sordiff on. So, and like with Cooper Black, like there's 1 or 2 goalies ahead of him now. So I don't know if they've lost confidence in him. I don't know what his status is, but there's the Russian kid, and then I think there's one more like veteran type guy that we got to forget his name, but so I don't know if Cooper Black's even. I don't know what the plan is for him right now. Bucks Race says should stream Marlins baseball. I think Kyle would quit. Lil J says 720. Hold on a second. Let's see. It should be 1080. See, like my screen I have right here is completely 4K. My what I'm getting. Let me look at the settings here. Man, it says 1080. Yeah. Says 10. I mean, at least that's what I should be streaming at is 1080. Now, why it would be 720 getting to you all, that I don't know. I don't know if that's a YouTube thing or a me thing. Tarko says, men's related question, Jaws. What happened to honor and a hard day's work? As long as you show up every day and do a good job, that's what counts. Yet today it seems to be all about numbers and salary. Everybody got squeezed, man. Everybody got squeezed. Regulations went through the roof. Taxes went through the roof. If you have a business, your rent went through the roof. I mean, everything is just so ridiculously expensive now that, I mean, I've had my own business all these years, and I totally grasp. I see both sides of it. You know what I mean? Between the fees and everything else of selling on eBay, I mean, profit margin is nowhere near what it used to be. And, when I worked for the spas, man, the regulations and the insurances that they had to have, I mean, there's just businesses just get absolutely taken for a ride by governmental regulations. David says, so how many Hall of Fame players on the Panthers now? Sasha, Bob, Marchand, Swaggy, Reinhardt, Chucky, if he keeps going, maybe Ekblad and E2 as well. He left out Forsman. Right? Left out. I mean, I think Forsling. I think Forsling before Ekblad and E2, my opinion. I think he's been healthy enough that he'll have. I think at the end he'll probably have a better career than Ekblad. Talking whatever, you're an honest, hardworking man, but you pull only 30 to 50K, feel like we lost sight what matters. It's just, I totally grasp what you're saying. Man, when I grew up, my thought was, if I make $1,000 a week, I'm good. I make $1,000 a week, I'm broke. You know what I mean? I went from I'd be rich to I'm broke with the same amount of money quick. It's just housing, especially housing prices and rents. It's just impossible for people to, it's just impossible for people to make it. It's not impossible. It's a lot different. I mean, when I was 23, I made $10 an hour. My apartment was $400. I had an apartment, I had a car payment, I had money on the weekends, $10 an hour. Problem is, the same job now probably maybe pays 15. JC, we're supposed to be in Fredericksburg for the holiday weekend, 10 minutes north of Kerrville. Father-in-law canceled his flight Thursday, so we ended up not going. I guess I got to start liking the guy. Yeah, I guess so, right? RBJ, I haven't heard anything about Mackey yet. You would have been part of the flood. Damn, JC. Damn, man. And yeah, David's right. If you want to make money off of hard work, you got to start your own business. It's the truth. It's absolutely the truth. Yeah, I probably have a Bill Zito video coming out soon too, Simon. Okay, for you guys, it says 1080. Gotcha. Vincent says no summer videos on the channel. No, they're coming. I actually got something coming today. Haven't lost any subs yet this year. Haven't lost any, but I got a video coming later today. It's actually sure to ruffle some feathers. It's about the taxes. Interesting. So some of you have some 780 or 720, some say 1080. Interesting. Yeah, it might be regional YouTube. Yeah. Lewis, nah, Mackey's not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. David. I appreciate that, Mr. Vids. Yeah, we're working on it. It's funny because the sound on this thing is actually better than the sound on the Yeti. It's more consistent. Vincent says, is my eBay shop a legit business? Yeah. I've filed my own taxes for that sucker for all 26 years now. Yeah. You just do it as a sole proprietorship. It's cheaper that way. I think Forsling's number gets retired. I mean, I think if we win a third cup, especially if we three-peat, my assumption is that anybody that's been here for all three would get their number retired. Like, how do you pick and choose? You know what I mean? David, all the shade for Eck. I just think Forsling's career at the end will be better. For Ekblad, it's more of a, I don't know what you want to call it. What's not romanticizing it, but there's the emotional connection with Ekblad, right? Yeah, Brother Gene is doing good. It's summer there, so I haven't talked to him in a couple of weeks. I actually got to get a hold of him. JC says door-to-door vacuum salesman was able to buy a house and have a family of 4 and a car with vacations and retirement on $30,000 to $40,000 of the salary. That's right. Yeah. This same house that cost when I was 5, my parents bought their house for $25,000. And the same house now is $500,000. I mean, and it is literally was just a cracker box, like 1,200 square feet. They added a pool to it, but still, you can't buy a car for $25,000. Mr. Vince, could I rank all the Panther seasons from worst to best? Oh boy, that's a video. I mean, best to me have to be the first cup, right? If you take into consideration the entirety of the whole season. Worst to me is the 96-97 year when they traded Stu Barnes and Jason Woolley for Chris Wells. That to me is the worst year they had. Guitar Crow. Yeah, no, I understand. I understand completely what you're saying, man. I'm trying to think about. He says, I understand we all have to level up today, but it feels like it's become more normal for poor or average men to get eliminated from the dating market. Housing and children aren't cheap. Well, yeah. If you're making 40 or 50 and you're looking for a woman who's going to want to have kids, who's going to be okay with you making 40 or 50, that's going to take a big slice out of the dating market for you. Now, you might find someone who's already had somebody else's kids, right? Man, I wouldn't, to be honest with you, and I know it sucks, but if you're making 40 or 50, not you specifically, but in general, if you're a young guy making 40 or 50, I wouldn't suggest looking for a wife to have kids in the house with, because you're just going to have massive financial problems because it's just not enough money. It's just not enough money these days. And, everybody's kind of in the same boat, but a lot of times women don't care about that boat. They'll chase the guy that bought their own boat. You know what I mean? You're not wrong, man. I wish there was an answer. David says, I have a side hustle that sounds easy, poker, but I've studied it for like 10 years and still study quite a bit. Hard way to make easy money. Yeah. Oh, boy, Adonis. Top 15 D-men in the NHL. You want me to name 15 defensemen in the NHL? Lost your line? Oh, boy. I guess the debate starts with, is there anybody better than Cale Makar? Right? Like, where does Forsling fit on that list? That's a genuine question. Like, where does Forsling fit on that list? I'm trying to think. Obviously, Hedman's up there. Carr. I'm going by team. Can't leave out Mike Matheson. Seeing who's paying attention. Gabranson's clearly the best guy in the league. I still would love Gabranson to come back as the old dude that didn't win and have the Gabranson-Kulikov pair maybe next year. Simon Donna's doing good. She's doing good. We'll see when she should be here this weekend. So, David, yeah, people issues are just like Kral's working on it. Bucks Rays, I don't know why Tampa signed ex-Leaf players. I don't know. Maybe they think they can fix them. Yeah, Lewis, it'd be interesting to see if Jack Devine's going to get a spot. Like, it's such a weird thing because we've signed all these dudes, right? Telling you, in 4 years we're going to have a fourth line of Bennett, Kachuk, and Marchand, and you know what I mean? Might be a bit of an exaggeration. Might be the third line, but eventually guys will age and move down a little bit. Either that, or we're just eventually just going to trade all of our decent, you know. Bucks Rays, yeah, Tyler Johnson just retired. Yeah, I seen that. Greg says, if Ekblad didn't have the injury history, he'd be regarded higher career-wise. Sure. I mean, if the dude, if we win the 3 cups, I mean, he's Hall of Fame. No shade that way. JC says Sears catalogs used to sell houses from $5,000 to $20,000. Mr. Midge meant doing that as a video. Yeah. Gotcha. We're saying 96 is worse than 23. Yeah. The 96-97, not 95-96. But the year after we lost to Colorado. That next year, where we started off, we had the best record in the NHL, and then they made the trade that began decades of futility. Yeah, exactly, JC. Yeah, Vincent says all men must strive to be like Ryan Lomberg. Oh, Glenda, no disagreement there. Yeah, if you get fired from a good job, nobody has any backup. I get it. I totally get it. I mean, I got it's rough. I don't know how people, like everybody I know, that's my age is living with somebody to split things for the most part. It's tough. Oh, absolutely, Bucks Rays, yeah. Don, she said you would put Gus between 14 and 11. My shoulder muscle all day long has just been twitching. It is just irritating the hell out of me. Glenda says, I get told that Forsling doesn't deserve any awards because scoring is half a defenseman's job. What? Who said that? By that logic, Barkov shouldn't get many awards because scoring is half of a forward's job. Forsling's job is make sure there's no pucks in the back of the net. Donna says Bob's either best goalie in the world or fourth best. Well, he just got voted the best, I guess, by his peers, right? Greg says next year is Gudas, Kulikov, bottom pair. Yeah, Kulikov going to play till he's 40. I don't think they have much of a ring of honor. Well, I don't know if they have a ring of honor at the arena. Hey, Rosado. Still taking the stupid course. Damn. Now, the best goaltenders. I mean, you got to put Bob at top. For me, Bobrovsky's at the top. Regular season numbers are so wildly overvalued. I think you put Bob at top. I think then you put Shesterkin. And then you've got the next tier of guys, honestly. Hellebuyck, Otter. I hate to put Vasilevsky with those guys. Vasilevsky is like in his own category. Like, was clearly the best, is no longer clearly the best. But if you had to go to one series, would you rather have Hellebuyck, Otter, or Vasilevsky, right? If you had to win a series. Hard to not pick Vasilevsky. Honest, yeah, I'll agree there. Mr. says, how do I think things would have gone down had we actually won the Cup back in 95, 96? It's a really good question because when they made the trade and they made the Barnes and Woolley trade, they said, well, we need to get bigger. We need to get bigger if we're going to beat these teams. Even though we had just beaten Boston, Philly, and Pittsburgh, the three big teams, the reason was we needed to get bigger. And, you know, maybe they saw Barnes getting pushed around or something against Colorado. Who knows? But when we spoke to Billy Lindsay, he said he felt like that trade robbed the team of a chance to win the Cup. And so who knows, man? That team was on fire to start that season. Donna says, by the way, I heard this one guy on a podcast I enjoy say how one thing that annoyed him was when we won the Cup last year, people thought the Bob contract is good after all. Whoa. I mean, if that annoyed him, I don't know what. I mean, yeah, the ends justify the means, right? Like if he comes in at 10 million and has 7 years like he started off with bad numbers and we never win anything, but I mean, certainly the 10 million now, we've got 2 cups. So I mean, I got no problem with that contract now. I think clearly he was worth it, right? 58, my sciatica causes back and leg muscles to twitch like that too. Yeah, it's just been because when I sit in my chair and edit, I'm sitting like this a lot. So I guess it's just bothering the hell out of me today. It just won't stop. I put an acupuncture needle in there. It just won't stop on me today. It's like just twitching all day. Yeah, exactly, Rosado. Glenda. Well, yeah, I multi-stream. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and actually Twitch. But we don't have a big enough of a following on Twitch for anybody to do something like that. But that's wild that happens. They send view bots to your channel and Twitch bans you for it. Yeah. Some people just don't know how to mind their own business, right? David says, I reached a time in my life where if nothing hurts, I get nervous. That's pretty good. Uh-oh. I almost just closed out the whole thing. Darko. I got a brother who lives in Tampa, makes $120K. His own apartment, 6'2", great shape, goes to singles events and dating apps, and he can't get a date. What's the reasoning? Is he getting reasons? Oh, who was the first pick? I mean, it wasn't until the 4th round. Let me see, Mr. Viz. Did somebody answer that? I'm scrolling to the bottom because I'm way behind. Holy crap. Way behind. All right, let's look that question up. I forget the kid's name. It's some kind of name we can't pronounce, I think. No, it's the King Kong guy. Mads Kongsbeck Kleivo. And I'm not making that up. Mads Kongsbeck Kleivo was first pick. We didn't have a pick to the fourth round. So he's a forward. So we picked the forward in the fourth. Shea Bush, another forward in the fourth. Shamar Moses, a forward in the fifth. Arvid Drott, forward in the sixth. Brendan Dunphy, a defenseman in seven. And Igor Midlak, because we can't lay off the Russian goalies in round 7. Let's see. Did I see Team Canada has their Panthers player fourth line or benched? Hey, I'm good. Fantastic. Love to see it. I got no problem with that whatsoever. In fact, I think all the Panthers players suck and should just get cut from the team. I don't even think the rule should be if you won the cup, you're not allowed on the Olympics team because you're clearly too good and it's an unfair advantage. So no Panthers players in the Olympics. I got no problem with that. Damn. You think Hedman's the best defenseman? And man, come on, Adonis. What about Sergachev? I know y'all love Sergachev. Adonis says it's kind of crazy how dry up the Lightning offense can be. I thought Stamkos was the best player last year in the first round, but 3 of his 5 goals came on the power play. We've done it to all the teams. Yeah, Adonis. Panthers have just done it to all the teams. Wesley says, don't know what's up with the guy. Ratscast trying to get Billy on the show to see the clip. So I can't speak to that. I can't speak to that at all. I haven't talked to Billy in a couple of years. We didn't have any. Everything's cool. He's busy. I don't like to bug him. So I don't know. I don't know anything about that. I try not to comment too much because in the past, people have tried to pit me against other YouTubers, taking comments I've made out of context, very much purposefully and maliciously. So I try not to make any comments about anybody else that's making content because good for them. Good. It doesn't affect me. You know what I mean? Like the more people watching Panthers content means there's more people watching Panthers content, which means YouTube is going to show more Panthers content. So I got no concerns that way. It's the more is better. Yeah, exactly, James. Exactly. Guitar Coach says he tells me occasionally get a match or pulls a number at an event, but quickly gets ghosted as they flake out on committing to a date. I'm sorry to hear that, man. I'm sorry. It's rough. It's rough. The internet ruined it, man. Every woman has every man available. You know what I mean? Yeah, Adonis, NHL expanded 84 games. Just where no one asked for this. The owners probably did. More money. You know what I mean? Kazuma says if the 80s Islanders and Oilers would be as good as their salary cap, and if Gretzky would have won as much and if the Cats win one more, would they be up there with those two or even better? Islanders won 4 straight. 4. I don't think. I mean, Panthers got to win 2 more just to be even. Now, certainly, it's very much like the whole Dan Marino type of debate. Watch Dan Marino highlights. 3 out of every 5 plays, he gets obliterated to what would have been a penalty now. So it's hard to compare different generations, even in baseball, because the guys are so much bigger and stronger. And I mean, like everybody was like, "Oh my God, Nolan Ryan threw 99, 100 miles an hour," and now the freaking Bat Boys throw 100 miles an hour now. It's really hard to compare when you go back that far. And the Islanders guys were drinking beer and smoking cigarettes. So if you extrapolate what those players would have been like if they had the training and the knowledge that they have now, it's hard to compare. It really, to me, it is. Bucks race is which dynasty is better, Tampa or the Panthers, to be determined. To be determined, right? Florida lost 1, won 2. Tampa won 2, lost 1. They're tied. Right now, you're tied. This year shall tell the difference. I don't know how much of a difference if Florida gets to a 4th in a row but loses. I guess that's a little bit better. And we'll see how it goes, right? Because Tampa they didn't drop off the cliff. They've made the playoffs. But in terms of postseason, they kind of fell off the cliff. Now, if Florida, loses the cup this year, loses the Eastern Conference Final, loses the second round, goes back, wins another cup, right? I think you could say Florida, but that's all time to tell. John says, Panthers should have drafted a Finnish goalie, Petteri Rempinen, who plays for my hometown in the Finnish Liga. He's going to LA now. He's the starter playing against men. Fantastic. Josh says we need Bill on the show. Yeah. Simon, do I like the hockey players playing overseas? I would prefer no. I would prefer that they would all the rest of the league can go. I just want the Panthers players to just stay home, get massages, get some shiatsu going, sit in a hyperbaric chamber for the whole 2 weeks. I'm greedy. James, yeah, we're still friends. I don't think he's been putting anything out lately. I think he's been working on something else, non-YouTube related. I think he finally had we don't get rich. You know what I mean? Like every day. And then the life of a YouTuber, unless you get big, is, do I have grocery money today? You know what I mean? Luckily, I got the eBay store. But yeah, he still wants to do stuff, but I don't think he's been popping anything out on a regular basis right now. I see, Adonis. I see what you're saying about the Bob contract. Bob was below average in last year's run. I mean, sounds like the guy just doesn't like Bob, right? I agree with you, James. 84 games in international tournaments is a complete joke considering how brutal the playoffs are. No doubt. No disagreement. And to have, 4 nations last year, Olympics this year, I mean, if Florida wins 3 straight under these circumstances, everybody's jersey gets retired. You know what I mean? Roselle, yeah, every closer is throwing a 100-mile-an-hour fastball every pitch, right? Steven says the only argument right now for Florida over Tampa would be the COVID thing. Yeah, I mean, let's not pretend, right? So, like, the competition. So I mean, Edmonton. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say most people would agree that Edmonton, the Panthers played. It was a better team than the Canadiens that Tampa played, but I hate to put an asterisk there. I mean, it was less hockey games, right? And they did have that big break. You know what I mean? So I don't take anything away from them. They won the cup. Those are the rules. They won the cup. That's it. End of discussion. But in terms of the longevity of things, I will say that it's been more impressive what Florida's been able to do because full 82 games. Remember, COVID stopped, and they had months off before the next playoffs. So, but everybody had that, right? But in terms of wear and tear over the players' bodies over time, there's no way for, Tampa's players would have had less wear and tear than Florida, in my opinion. James, 60 regular games. Well, yeah. Owners are never going to go backwards, though. You know what I mean? Yeah, Simon, it was crazy when the Panthers came in. I'm going to just chop this arm off. I think we're just gonna cut this arm off. It just won't stop. Ba, 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 ba. You know. Yeah, other Florida fan channels said Bob and the team as a whole got way worse than the 25 run. All I can say is I disagree. I mean, with the exception of the two games, with the exception of the first two games against Toronto, we waxed Tampa, we waxed Toronto, we waxed Carolina, and once we got our footing against Edmonton, you've seen what the final two games was, right? 2 games, 3 games. How many games in a row did we win at the end? 2, right? Yeah. How anybody could consider that worse than what we did the previous year? Like, the Rangers had a series lead on us in the Eastern Conference Finals. That was tough. We almost lost 4 straight to Edmonton this run was far more impressive to me. I mean, maybe people are looking at the numbers because we allowed more goals. We also scored 1 million goals, too. Donnie says, I think it's almost like saying if the Oilers won the cup, then that makes the Darnell Nurse contract good. Well, I view a goalie's contract as a separate entity, right? So I get what you're saying, but for me, I view the goalie as completely his own separate universe, kind of like Maurice does. David says, I really believe the Cats will win 2 to 4 more cups in the next 6 years, maybe not in a row, but maybe. Hey, guys, what are the rumors that Ekblad will apologize to Jaws? I think he would wear a shirt that says never. Never. I don't think that's ever happening. But that's okay. That's okay, Aaron. James says that Leafs series broke the trust of a lot of Panthers fans and seeing as Marchand bailing us out. I mean, I never understood that. Like, if the dude is on your team and he scores a goal to win a game, that's the team winning a game, right? Like, no matter what game, whether it's Bob stole a game or Marchand stole a game or Forsling played out of his mind, like, I don't know. To me, it just sounds, I don't get it. I don't get it. And what's shocking about that to me is that anybody who knows the history of this channel was my claim to fame was nobody bitches about this team more than I. And I guess that is just no longer the case. Maybe I got calmer in my old age. I don't know. Yeah, I got you, Adonis. Yeah, I mean, all the teams had the same amount of rest, so I'm not taking away that they won the cups because everybody had the same circumstances. Um, to be honest, I'm surprised they didn't win the third in a row. To really be honest, I'm surprised they didn't win the third in a row. They overworked Vasilevsky, man. I've been saying it for years. They play him too much. Rosado. Don't forget game 4 against Tampa, though. We were dead in the water. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, David. Fly guy, yeah, the first 2 games in Toronto were overtime losses. Were they both? Were they both? NHL fans voted Bob the fifth best goalie in the league. Stolarz 18, Knight 20, Knight 28. Huh? Huh. Dang. Don says, I would just say Florida, unbiased if possible, because Tampa had less withering and exhaustion, allowing them to get more rest. Our games have broken records with the games played and making it 3. Well, that's true. We did break that record, right, for most games played in a 3-year period. I agree, Kazuma. He says, I've seen videos of people saying they'll start copying Florida's model, but I feel it's more than you can just copy if you need the right people to execute it. Yeah. And you got to have the timely goaltending. Like we've all seen it. That's the kicker to this system is you're going to give up your breakaways. You're going to give up your chances. The goalie has to be on. He's got to be ready to have 5 minutes with no shots and then catch a breakaway, right? Donis, do I think the Oilers were getting a goalie? I don't. Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. I mean, I know some people thought that maybe they look at Stolarz, but why would Toronto move Stolarz? You know what I mean? Why would Toronto move Stolarz? I don't understand that. Yeah, when I come down, bring a sign that says unblock me, Ekblad. Yeah, maybe I'll get him to sign it. I says our 94 goals in the 25 NHL playoffs ranks 4th overall in NHL history. Damn. John says, I'm sorry, Jaws. Carter Hagee is the reason why we won round 1 against the Capitals. Sure. No disagreement there. How good will Marchand actually be the full regular season on the third line? What about Lundell total points? I think you're going to see E2. I think Lundell will get 40 or 50 points, but I think E2, I think that's the guy that's going to benefit more than anything. E2 might get 300 points. Marchand might get 100 assists, right? That might be a bit much because of the time on ice, but I think Marchand's going to be an absolute assist beast. He could easily end up with 50 assists next year. Not a fan. I mean, we're going to watch the Olympics. We're going to stream the Olympics and all of that. So hopefully nobody gets hurt again. Tampa played the Avs 82 games straight that year. They were one goal. Yeah, I didn't remember them being overtime. Yeah, that's the one. In game 3, they had the 3-1 lead on us, and then we came on. Yeah. Yeah, James says Leafs tried to adapt to Florida and take their player. Neither has worked. Yeah. It came close, but I don't know what they're going to do now with Marner gone. Exactly, Craig. Team buy-in, not just a few guys. No word on Erod Kazuma. I think the assumption still remains the same thing about Kachuk and the LTIR. Yeah, and that's the other thing, Rosado. E2 might have a career year. Eventually, he's going to get paid, right? Excuse me. David, yeah, that's a good point. Says the truly wild thing is if Chucky gets 100% healthy, Cats will be even better. Just take the year off, brother. We'll see you. We'll see you in the playoffs. It's all good. Don says, yeah, whatever the E2 total points is for this season, bet the over. No doubt. No doubt there. If Tampa stays healthy, you think they have a chance against the Panthers? Vasilevsky, man. I say it every year. He gets to the postseason now. He looks wiped out. You know what I mean? He just doesn't look like the same dude. I know they got Jonas Johansson, and that's what they're rolling with. Fly. I mean, I don't know if Chucky's ever going to skate the same again either, but skating wasn't his strong point, right? Skating wasn't his strong point at all, for sure. He'll adapt, kind of like Ekblad did, you know. Zuma wants to know how many cups would the Cats need to win for me to say they don't win anymore after those. I'm fine. I don't want to say the number, though. That's the number. That's the number. Because I'm old, right? Rosado. Yeah, I broke my record for lifting sessions in one playoff season. That's for sure. Ain't no joke about that. Cats win one more Hall & Oates marathon. David, yeah, it's a shame Daryl can't sing anymore. He's still out there trying, bless his heart. His voice is gone. Like it's not like he can't hit the high notes or anything anymore. He can't sing. Like his voice is gone, unfortunately. My first YouTube video about the Panthers was recorded on this Surface Pro. I put it in the van with one of those flags hanging up in the van. I recorded it using this Surface Pro, bitching and complaining about the owners having traded Gabranson and Kulikov. Rise. I need to put some weight on. Yeah, Poliari went to Switzerland. Yeah. Can we get a recreation of that video? That's not a bad idea. That'd be the one that goes viral too, right? Yeah. Or maybe like a review of it. You know, yeah, it's not a bad idea, Rosado. It's not a bad idea. Colin. All right, everybody. I got to roll. And I do have something coming out a little bit later, probably 5, 6 o'clock. I'll have on this channel coming out. Tomorrow night, Colin and I will be live over on the football channel doing live streaming a classic Dolphin game. So I'll have all the instructions, all the information you need for that. And then Thursday night, 8 o'clock again, I'll be live over on the men's channel for your entertainment and viewing pleasure. So, all right, everybody. Appreciate all the love and support. And, yeah, so I shall see you. I will see you mañana, but you will see me later. But I won't be seeing you because it'll be recorded. Not like this, which was live. It's not live anymore. Goodbye.